Good evening. Welcome to this video. This video is going to be a trading review and support session for February the 15th, 2023. We started out this morning with some 5:30 Pacific Standard Time news. We had retail sales, and retail sales were favorable. Industrial production and those sorts of things were kind of flat, but retail sales were up. And so market's trying to figure out which way to go. So as we opened this morning, let's just take a look at the big picture chart real quick to see where we're at. So this is today. And when we opened, so here's the retail sales, and it brought the market up a little bit. And when we were opened, we were kind of back down into the area of the Globex lows. And so we opened, and initially we came up, down, kind of staying within the daily bias and the 25% upper line. Then we did come down a little bit later on and made a new Globex low, and then the market kind of got bullish again. So again, we ended up over yesterday's close, so we had a higher close and closing at the high. So it's kind of a bullish kind of a day, and we had enough action back and forth that it was a pretty good trading day as well. So let's just go through the trades. And so here's the first minute of the open, and I was a little bit, it's above the EMA, above the slow flex, may probably jump the gun a little bit here as I was reviewing the trades today. Just a little bit. I mean, I'm always on the right side of the market. I'm a little bit early perhaps. So here is the first trade. Within the first just few seconds of the open, and I added to it here, and I was out here, but as you can see, just being a little bit more patient, I could have got that much more efficiently had I just waited just a little bit. So but it was kind of breaking out. So that was the first trade, and then the second trade also could have been a little bit more efficient. But I felt the market wanted to go up, and ultimately it did. So I entered in the second trade here, right? And then I'm looking. So I'm out over here. I think this is the one I actually ended up. So this is the third entry, I believe. These white arrows are difficult to see. I'm pretty sure there's another entry in here somewhere. Let me refer back to my trading chart real quick. Make sure I've got the right number of entries here. I know there was one trade that I had three units on. Let me just see. There was that one. Which is why I kind of label them. Oh no, this one, okay, this one, all right, let me start over again. All right, this trade was an entry here, and it did exit. All right, so that one was just a 1 unit. This is the one I chased a little bit, right? Well, it's just I didn't chase it. I mean, it's not like it's up in here, but it is breaking over VWAP again, so it's kind of like its third attempt. It did come back once, one more time. So this is first entry. This is bouncing off the EMA, so that's the second entry, and then out here. Okay, so got that one. But there is one I know I had to have, didn't have to have, but I ended up having 3 units. So there is the third trade. Things are going okay. And then I entered here again, coming off of the EMA back into alignment and out there. And then this one was a little bit of a early entry, right? So we're between, as you can see, we're between the flexes, but it's trying to hold the EMA. And not only that, it was bouncing off the minute average. So I did kind of chase this. No, it's not a chase. It's just a little bit aggressive, and it's coming down back up. I did not add to it since it's coming back into this resistance area, back into the 2x200, I elected just to take 3 ticks, and it did much better than that, but I just took the 3 ticks to go ahead and get out of the trade. And next trade, next trade is, so getting into the kind of push time frame, and I said, well, I'm not going to trade it unless it gets pretty aggressive, and it did. So I took one short trade here. So it's coming back down. Perfect alignment, coming down off of the EMA with an expansion. So that was a pretty quick trade there. And let's see if I traded again prior to. I did. This is the one that I had 3 units on. All right, so again, this was a little bit high, right? But it's a little bit after 7 o'clock. Honestly, a little bit too soon after 7 o'clock to trade. So, a little bit after the 7 o'clock, we did have news, a little bit of news, no big deal. I think it's the North America Housing Index. So it's kind of breaking, but it didn't falter. Came back down to the 2x20 and the 3-minute moving average, so I added it to it there. So there's 1. Here's 2. Came back down. I was having to watch it pretty closely, but then again, it held, right, kind of breaking back up on a nice bar. So this is 3, and I was out in here for profit. Don't like to hold 3 or don't like to have 3, but because if it goes against you, then you're going to have to fight a little bit, reverse, and even fight on the reverse a little bit. So waiting is a little bit better. Let's see how fast this entry would have been if I had waited, right? Just a little bit longer. Wait till the alignment kind of comes in, and it would have been, anything in here would have been quick. All right, so here we are a little bit later, kind of breaking down again. So I took a trade, and these arrows are hard to see, this on this bar, right? And out quickly. And I think at that particular point, I'm up 9. I reduced my units to the point where I wouldn't necessarily jeopardize my profit. So I reduced the unit, just trading a smaller size here. Took one more contract, one more trade here, right? And I was out there. So that was the last trade before 8:30. So since I had reduced units, then my profit I was up 9. So that put me up a little bit more than 9 per unit, and that was the last one prior to 8:30. I did trade a couple more times in the afternoon because I was around the computer, again with reduced units. So as a net result, I was up about 10 gross instead of 9, which is one technique I talked about it a little bit. If you've got some profit, but the market seems to be doing okay, and if you're trading multiple units, of course, then you can reduce your unit size and continue to trade some. I don't often do that, but it is a technique that you can do to kind of reduce profits. Alrighty, so that was kind of the trading today. Trading this week has been fairly good. Volume has been okay. I think we just had one relatively light volume day so far. This is only the 3rd trading day of the week, so Monday was a little bit light. All right, so that's kind of it. I think we've already answered all the questions today in terms of software and support and chart setup. So that was a quick video, and so have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you tomorrow morning in the trading room.